Come on through, Cookie. I want to put my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Hey guys, let's talk about a new series that's actually been brought out on the TLC channel by my good friend Tyler Perry. Now, I'm being very honest right now in saying that I'm going to give the side eye to Tyler right in the beginning because the background story of this is scandal. I don't give a damn how you chop it up, how you flip it, twist it. The background story of Too Close to Home is scandal, for the most part. Okay, so let's talk about it. Annabelle is an intern at the White House. There are three. There's a black girl named Valerie, and there's another white guy who's like a smart ass who is also an intern there. The three of them are interns at the White House. We found out very early on, because see, the premiere episode was 2 hours long, so I'm not going to do a 2-hour review. We're going to snap this shit up and keep it moving, because literally, I'm being honest, I actually had to sit down 3 times. It took me 3 sit downs to actually get through the first episode. Now, I'm just going to chalk that up to me and where I'm at personally this week, and not Tyler, because it's not that it was bad, but I kind of dozed off on it a couple times. But anyway, okay, so you got the 3 interns. The one little guy, he's gay. We found that out later, so I'm sure that'll pop up somewhere else down the line. So he's gay. Then the Valerie is black. She's a black girl, the one black girl, pretty black girl. And then Annabelle is actually, she's a liar. For the most part, and you could tell right away in her conversation, she's always basically lying. She lies about her background, about her family and its origins. She is literally from Alabama. She's from Alabama, from a trailer park in Alabama. Okay? As far as I know, she actually has 2 sisters, Bonnie and Shelby. Bonnie and Shelby. Shelby is a slew of motherfucking kids that Bonnie is actually raising. Okay? And she's a junkie and some more shit. But anyway, so here we got Annabelle. Annabelle is having an affair with the president. Okay? And it gets found out pretty early on. When we first start up, they're actually out. He's very, very controlling. The president's very controlling and narcissistic. We're actually out. They're out after work. There's a little guy. His name is John. We run back into him later on. Real dark hair and all of this. We run into John. They're trying to get Annabelle to dance with John. John, they try to talk to Annabelle, and Annabelle's like, no. She was like so against him even being in her face. And Valerie had actually taken pictures and posted it to Instagram, and she was like having a fit to the point where she literally got upset and left. Annabelle got upset and left the bar because Valerie had taken this picture. Well, we seen in that, not seconds later, the president had actually seen it, and he was like pissed off. Ridiculous. But he has this whole little thing. So it's kind of, their whole thing. It's not like this loving, it's more, their relationship's more animalistic and controlled, and she's basically kept. She has this very nice condo and this, that, thing, and the other. She's really a kept woman, is what she is. That same night, we actually see Annabelle come home. Then she gets sidetracked by a guy named JB, which is her sister Bonnie's boyfriend, who has actually come. He's a truck driver, so he had drove through D.C. and basically told her, so you're just going to leave us and you're not going to try to help us at all. Like, you're doing all well. This place looks nice and this, that, and the other. She's like, literally, she lies to people about what her family's origins are, and she really doesn't fuck with her family at all. Like, she's just like over it. She left a guy named Brody. Fine, fine, fine. Looks like he should be cast to play Thor, but Brody, he was in love with her. She just left him. She literally left everything in home. It's a home, sweet home Alabama, or home Alabama, or whatever it is. Hope Alabama. Alabama. She left everything in Alabama and just kept it pushing. So, um, they go through all of this. We got that going on. We move into the first lady, which is played by Heather Locklear. Heather then found out she walked up on her husband cheating. Basically, she clocked it. She came down to the Oval Office. He's up in there. Secret Service will not let her in, telling her that he's having a meeting. They won't let her into the meeting. His personal secretary ends up coming around the bend. She got them both. The first lady had the Secret Service agent and the secretary held up and said, "We're just gonna wait till he come out." Well, in the midst of him in there, he's actually in there banging Annabelle. And he in there banging Annabelle and has a heart attack. And Annabelle ends up running out. So when she runs out for help and all this, they go in. Of course, now the first lady has a full picture of exactly what's going on. He's literally laying on the floor with a hard dick hanging out, and Annabelle standing there with her dress unzipped and hiked up, running for help. She exits right away and all of that, and this is how everything with her gets all started at. I'll just finish up Annabelle while I'm at it, because her home life is the one that's all fucked up. So she runs on off. She ends up going out to the bar. Down at the bar, you actually have, and this is actually the next day, you actually have Valerie is in there, and the other little intern guy. She pulls Valerie outside. She wants to try to tell Valerie what's going on. She's like, I don't have anybody. I can't trust anybody to tell them. She wants to try to tell Valerie. Valerie stopped her dead in her tracks and was like, these are the type of things that ruin people's lives. Bitch, you're not going to drag me down with you because you're a tramp and you fucking the president. Bitch, I'm not getting involved. And she walked off. Told her, I don't want to know nothing. Leave me alone. And she left. So she basically was on her own. She ends up running back into John again at the bar, and he ends up talking her into, which wasn't hard because she basically had nowhere to go, because after, I skipped the part, after all of this shit took place, once they got the president stable, First Lady came to her house and basically let her know, you will not fuck my husband, embarrass me, sneaking around, and then walk away scot-free. Bitch, it's not going to happen. I'm not that bitch. I'm going to expose you and him. And then I'm going to make your life a living hell, you bitch. And she said, you living all swanky. This is how he keeps you? Nothing in there. And she told the boys, come on in. Take it all. And she's like, wait a minute. This is my stuff. She said, honey, nothing is yours. You were bought, paid for. Nothing is yours. Take it all. And I'm going to padlock this apartment when I leave. So she literally is left with she has nothing. So that's how she ends up at the bar in Dire Straits. She actually sees old boy John. He talks to her into coming back to his apartment. She sleep on the couch. And when they wake up the next day, she's over there sleeping. He wakes up. Somebody calls him, tells him, look on the news. Shit's on the news because they had just said that the president had a cold, is what happened. They come back and they finally, First Lady put her shit in motion. And she's like, no damn cold. The actual president had a heart attack. And the one person that was left with him was her. And they had her picture plastered on the news that next morning. So then we see John. That motherfucker ain't nothing but an opportunist because he seemed like such a nice guy. That motherfucker's an opportunist. He works for the Washington Sun, which is like an Inquirer type of magazine or whatever. And the last thing he says is, "This girl is getting ready to win me the Pulitzer." And he calls back and he says, "That one girl that they talking about, she's sitting here on my couch sleep." And they're like, "Do not let her leave. We're sending the brigade in." And that was how that actually ended with her. So let's go back over to home Alabama and talk about the family. Okay, so like I said, we got Bond. They're more interesting than her. Her family is more interesting than she is. I don't even know. He could have just kept that part out and just did his whole story, in my opinion, about the damn trailer park folks. Because they a mess. So you got Bonnie who's dating JB. JB is a no good motherfucker. Brody was in love with Annabelle when she was there, but he actually hasn't seen Annabelle in 3 years or talked to her. He's actually in love with Bonnie. Brody's taking care of his father. His mother has passed away not long ago. The father has Alzheimer's. How Brody ties in with them, his parents were the landlords for the trailers that the mother, Annabelle's mother, and that Bonnie live in. And they're always backed up on rent. They're really stretched for cash. Like I said, she got like 4 or 5 kids that she's taking care of, and that ain't hers and all that. And then the other sister is just a damn junkie. She's a mess. We actually see her end up coming back into the picture. She ends up staying over there, and the mother, whatever's going on over at the mother's house is so disgusting that the one little boy, there's like a 15-year-old named Mac, and that Bonnie's raising, he goes over to take food and stuff to the grandmother and threw up when he came out there. So they ain't showed it inside her house, but that bitch's house is nasty. Okay, it's some type of nasty. Something's going on in there, honey. But yeah, I mean it's a straight up trailer park, like straight up type trailer park. Um, I was like, wow, that's interesting. So um, the sister, they hear her out there banging one night. She's trying to get into the mother's. The mother won't answer. Bonnie tells her, "Come on in, but don't talk to back. Don't say that to him because I guess there's some type of volatile little thing going on with their relationship because he's like 15 and it's his mother." But she's like, "Just don't say nothing to him. Just come in, lay down, be good. Sleep off this high because she was high as a motherfucker." Did all that. She came in, still was trying to talk to him. She said, "I told you don't talk to him." She sent the kids back to bed and all of that. She's trying to keep the fucking peace. Is what that Bonnie's doing. She has all that going on. Like I said, Brody's father has Alzheimer's. Brody is in love with Bonnie. Bonnie wants to get in. She's like, "Let me help you to take care of your father." Okay. Um, and he's like, first he's like, "No, no, 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 no." She's like, "But I can use the money, this, that, thing, and the other." And that's when they had this little talk. She comes over. She had actually helped the one day, brought him something to eat. He's basically by himself. He has a brother named Jesse. I don't know where Jesse is. We ain't seen Jesse, but there's some shit with Jesse. Okay, Jesse seems to me to have been, maybe he's the older brother, and he must have been a little bit troublesome. But we ain't seen Jesse. So Bonnie's going on with Brody. Brody tries to kiss her and all this. And you can tell there is some sexual tension. Like maybe he might have fell in love with the wrong sister and then actually met the other one and realized that she was actually the right one. And she's all jammed up with JB. So that whole thing goes on. Um, JB. JB's an asshole. JB, like I said, he went up there to DC and said shit to Annabelle, and Bonnie told him, "Why would you do that? Leave her alone. Stay away from her." She rides for her sister. She knows her sister kind of gives them to get on, girl. I ain't got time for y'all. But she takes such pride in her little sister and how well she's doing and all of this. She speaks very highly of her. It's kind of sad because it's like a one sided type of sisterhood. But she ride for her sister, right? She even fought Brody off, was like, no, 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 no. You know, you can tell she really wanted to get him, honey, because I'm telling you that Tyler will give you some eye candy, honey, white or black, honey. He'll give you some eye candy. That Brody is a looker. You hear me? Built down. He's, yeah, he's short, but whatever. So next thing you know, the sister, she done went out on one of her binges. Chow. JB out in the truck smoking some weed. She wants some. He like, get on out of here. She gonna get up in the truck, suck his dick. Then she gonna ride the dick in the truck. Sister Barney actually walks up on him, and they so busy fucking they ain't even see Barney. Barney go back in the house. Then she gonna say, "Where's the stuff?" After she done fucked him, and he's steady telling her, "Work for it, girl. Work for it." Steady fucking her. And then she says, "Well, where's the stuff?" He gonna say, "I ain't got no stuff. Get on out of here." He done got what he wanted then. Get on out of here. So she done cussed his ass out, pulled a gun on him, and then took his truck and drove on off. He come back in the house to tell Barney, "I need your car," so he can go chase her down. And Barney's like, mm-mm. He's like, "She stole my load." She gonna say, "Yeah, well, she got both your loads, didn't she?" "Yeah, I seen you fucking her in the truck. And you're out of here, and I'm done with you." So he ends up start getting all huffy and start trying to rough up Barney. Mac actually pulls a gun on him. I'm like, this is a mess. They're so fucking dysfunctional. Mac that pulled a gun on him, and he's like, do it, you know, all this old shit. Barney calms the situation, puts his ass out, and that's basically all we actually see of them. Let me finish up with um the shit over with the father. The father has Alzheimer's. We found out the father, you know how people with Alzheimer's, they'll switch in and out. He was kind of in it. He's telling Brody, because Brody's over there asleep. The dad then went and got a shotgun to Brody's head, thinking that he's Jesse, and actually pulled the trigger, but he ended up shooting the pillow because Brody moved the gun. He shot the pillow. He could have killed him. You know, the father, he's going back and forth. He's like, "I'm not Jesse. I'm Brody." This, that, and the other. And he's like, "Oh my God." So he comes back in and he's like crying. He's like, "Just kill me because, you know, help me. Just kill me. I can't do this. I'm not myself. I'm losing my mind. I don't want to be out of my mind." You know, and he was a doctor. Their father was a doctor. "I don't want to be out of my mind." And he starts going on and he's saying, like the mother, he will say, "You took care of mama, this, that, that." He said, "I took care of her all right. I hated her. I hated her. At the end, she was always sick all the time, but I hated her anyway. I hated her." He kept saying he hated her, and he said that he gave her all her pills. And Brody's like, "What did you do? What did you do?" So he's trying to question him, and he's fading, steadily fading back out. But we got the picture. That motherfucker killed their mother. He killed her. He was sick of taking care of her, and I guess he must not have liked her too much. And one thing that I did actually pick up, whenever he's all in and out, he knew once Barney said who she was, because Barney was at the door one day and she was like helping to get him to go back to bed. He said, "It's Barney." She said, "It's Barney." He gonna say, "Oh, okay." She said some shit to him. Didn't he turn around and say, "How's Jolene over there?" That asked about Barney's mother. I said, uh-huh. I clocked that, Tyler, so I'm sure there's gonna be some more to that too. But when he went from that, it clicked in my head. He directly has some memory or recollection of Jolene and was just grinning and smiling and told, "Yeah, I'll come over and do some work over there for Jolene." That motherfucking father was a mess, honey. I said, this is a mess. So ends up going on, he puts the gun and stuff, locks the gun all up and all that. And again, now Brody's over there dealing with the fact that your dad actually killed your mother. And I don't know what Jesse has to do with anything, but there's some shit going down with Jesse too. So last thing, because see, here we go. I'm approaching 20 minutes on this shit. And it was a 2-hour episode, so I don't feel too bad about the 20-minute video, y'all. It was a 2-hour episode, the premiere. Okay, so last thing. That first lady is a mean motherfucker. Like I said, she told her, "You're never going to work again. You might as well go on back to Alabama, and I hope you got something waiting on you, bitch, because I'm going to ruin you. You'll never work again, bitch, and I'm going to pose it right on up there that, you know, you were the last one. You're going to go down for attempted murder of the goddamn president." I said, "Oh my." Like, she went all the way there with it. That first lady ain't no joke. That motherfucking Heather Locklear is playing no games with Annabelle. She's like, there will be no cum splatter dress hanging around and no books written here, bitch. I'm going to get you, bitch. I said, okay. So that's basically it. That's the first episode of Too Close to Home. All right, I guess we're gonna hang in with this. We'll see. We'll see how you all do with this review. I'll know whether or not to bother trying to review it. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.